All right, this week's Inside the Film Room was a really easy decision on who to do. We're going to do Florida defensive tackle Caleb Banks. Again, Banks came into the season with a really high grade from me. Second round grade, defensive tackle 2 in the class. But he only played one game in week 3, so he missed the first 2 weeks of the season. Played one game, got hurt. Has been out the last 10 weeks. Despite Florida's record, Banks said he's going to come back and play. So he did. He played 37 snaps in this game against Tennessee. We're going to watch all 37 of them. Some peripheral data for the fifth-year senior. Again, he's only 22. He's not 24. Just a heads up as well. He's not 24. He's 22. In this game, he was only charted with 1 stop tackle, 2 missed tackles, no pressures. 26 snaps in the B gap, 9 kicked out a little bit wider. But again, the grades don't necessarily reflect like a bad performance via PFF. And again, PFF grades are what PFF grades are, right? But I'm kind of interested in what the difference between the two things is. Between his 2 games, he is missing about 50% of his tackles. So that's not great. We'll see if it shows up, if they're actually bad misses or if it's just like a negligible miss that PFF kind of tabbed down for him. But let's go and turn it on. Let's turn this on. All right. Again, number Big 88. He's out here. Big 88. That's our boy, Caleb Banks. All right. Not a whole lot going on here. Pad level's pretty high coming through here. I don't love it. All right, he's on the other side now, over the right tackle. Okay, there we go. Oh, he's back. See those heavy hands? Bang. Stack and shed. That's David Sanders, too, who's a really highly touted true freshman. He's going to be a dude in a couple of years. Discarded. Discarded. Heavy hands. Yeah, man. We're going to screen record that one. Whew. One more time. For good measure. Heavy, heavy hands. Oh, man. Destructive hands. All right. Still back over right tackle. All right. Not great. So here's the thing that I'm wondering about Banks here too. If Huddle will load. I wonder, I mean, he's obviously not in great game shape, right? He looks a bit bigger on tape than I thought he did last year. Last year I thought he had more of a slender, explosive-y kind of build to him. Looks a little bit bigger. But again, he hasn't played in 10 weeks. He's been resting with a foot injury, so we'll see what kind of game shape he's actually in here. He's tough to move off the spot still, though. And that's a good long arm. That's a good stack. He's not yet moved off the ball. All right. Again, the pad level's high. The pad level's high. Again, you can see head's poking out a little bit right there. I would like to see him work through that a little bit better. Again, he takes the outside shoulder there, but if you're setting a backside edge, I feel like... I mean, the guard's way out in front of himself, so, I mean, I don't hate it. I bet PFF tabbed this as one of his missed tackles, and I don't really think that's a missed tackle. If PFF tabbed that as one of his missed tackles, by the way. But again, work through that block a little bit better. That is a nice punch right here off the front, on the front end of this. If Huddle will cooperate with me, it's not being very smooth tonight. Right there. There's a little bit of shock in the hands there that still, so. But the pad level's high. Okay. Caleb Banks' hands, man. I don't feel like he's as laterally elusive, fluid, as he was last year, though. Like, he gets in the gap, and he's kind of log jammed up in there. See that? And he really struggles to get through it. But heavy, heavy hands, man. Heavy, heavy hands. He's got to get some help from his linebackers and safeties behind that, too. What's the linebacker doing on this play? Not too late. Oh, no, same play. Okay. So, yeah, what are 5 and 8 doing here? 8's jammed up inside. 5's way too... Okay, that's on 5. What is 5 doing here? Where are you going, my friend? Yeesh. All right, we're over the left guard here. Thanks. All right, he's taking on 2. Gets a little displaced off the ball a little bit here. I mean, he's like his hands are on the... if we're counting this as 0, hands are on the 2-yard line here. His heels are 3-4 yards off the ball. Again, high pad level. It'll do that to you. It'll do that to you. All right. We got some power. So he's setting backside edge based on how they're gaming this. He's not even in the play. He looks like he's playing a bit gingerly, which, again, just come back from injury. I get it. I get it. All right, let's get him back on the field here. Again, he only played 39 snaps, so he was definitely on a pitch count in this one. Still not down here at the red zone, though. That feels like an issue. Still not in the game. There he is. All right, so the pitch count's real here. He's moving a little bit slower, in my opinion, based on what I saw on tape last year. But the hands are really destructive, man. Like, look at this. I mean, he is moving people with his hands. He's got this guy on skates. He's got 74 on skates. The feet just look a little heavier to me. Just look a little heavier to me. And is there really a pass rush plan, or is he just kind of trying to bull rush everybody here? Is there any speed to power left on display? Okay. So I was just talking about how his feet were starting to look a little heavy, a little bit like, oh, he's not in game shape, is kind of what I was ramping up to. Watch him get off the ball here. Immediately blow this thing up. Welcome back, Caleb Banks. I've always been a fan of his short area quickness, that quick twitch in a phone booth. And that's just a quick little arm over, snatch a soul, bang. That gives those linebackers free reign to come on down, untouched. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, we're taking outside shoulder here. All right. Again, that's what I'm talking about with this David Sanders kid. Watch him with this outside hand. Banks can't remove it. The kid's going to be so good. But again, Banks can't remove it. Trying to take outside shoulder. We're off the field. It is interesting they're taking him off the field in the red zone. This is twice now in the red zone he's come off the field. It's not him over the nose. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. We're on the field. In the red zone. Again, I just feel like he's not playing with much leverage. Again, we're popping out. I mean, look how high he is up here. We got helmets here and helmets here of the offensive linemen. His pad level's really high. So I'm going to make a note of that and his hands because I've seen both those on multiple plays here. So going to take some moment here. And again, this is obviously going to go on his resume, going to go on his final report because it's one of 2 games he's played this year. So I'm going to take a note that Banks compromises any leverage he has with his long arms by constantly popping straight out of his stance and exposing his frame. I do also want to make a note in this section, though, that his hands are extremely heavy. Plays with dynamite in his hands as offensive linemen feel it when he connects or when he lands a punch. Okay. Again, the pad level. Is it a knee bend thing? I don't know. Is he more linearly explosive than he is hip fluid explosive? But he's playing real high. Did they call that? I don't think they called anything on that, even though they're all begging for it. Nope, they didn't call anything there. But again, look at him leverage this out, man. With one arm here. Again, the pad level's got to come down. But he's able to do this with no leverage. Move offensive linemen like this with no leverage. The natural strength in that man's frame is tremendous. Oh my god, dude. I mean, like you can see he doesn't have any leverage. His arms are not extended here, right? It doesn't matter. He's still popping dudes. Popping dudes. These are unbelievably heavy hands. Sledgehammer hits. Fourth and goal? Third and goal? He's in there. So what happens here? Yeah, and he fires out high. And look at it. He's taking a helmet to his gut because he's playing so high. Pad level's got to come down. Now, again, Banks, unless he plays out the rest of the season, is going to be a player, which I think it's only like one game left here. Ooh, who is that? It's a tight end, though. Unless he plays out the rest of the season, I'm going to have to rely on a little bit of his 2024 tape as well to see, like, is this actually game shape? What did it look like at the end of last season? Okay, there he is. I'm going to have to watch the LSU game, obviously, too, week 3. Because it's the only games from this season we have so far. But again, blowing off the ball right here. Get your pad level down. Get the pad level down. I want to see the fire off the ball here, too. I feel like he's a little sluggish coming off the ball. Like a little... almost... ginger coming off the ball. Which, coming back from an injury, getting back up into game speed, game physicality is not the same as just practicing and rehabbing. It's a different animal. So is there potential he's afraid of getting hurt? Like, you see it a lot with DBs or wide receivers who tear their ACLs. They're afraid to make those cuts they have to make until they get, like, they work through a psyche thing of, like, I'm not going to re-tear my ACL by doing this. So I don't know if there's, like, a level of that with this being his first game back. But he's a little ginger coming out of his stance, I think. All right, there we go. There's Banks. Over the left guard and left tackle here. Jeez. He's got fast hands, man. Now that is a missed tackle. PFF will chart that as a missed tackle, and that deserves to be a missed tackle. That's bad. That one's bad. But again, look at him. Active hands. Explosive hands. He's got to make the play. He's obviously got to make the play. But that's dynamic, dude. Welcome back, Caleb Banks, man. Again, I truly hope